Hi, friends. Hi, friends. Hi, friends. This is Coach Rose AJ coming to holla at y'all on New Year's Eve here in the Pacific Northwest. Y'all, it is just after 7 p.m. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. Y'all, January 1st is World Carnivore Month. It's World Carnivore Month. If you are a carnivore, keep on carnivoring. And if you are considering trying carnivore, please step into this space for the month of January and see what it is like to be a carnivore. So if you have any questions, please ask them in the comments or reach out, please. But it is, yes, January 1st, 2024. The whole month is World Carnivore Month, and we are celebrating some things around here. So, what I want to ask you guys first and foremost is Happy New Year's. What are you doing this New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, whenever you're watching this? Did you go out? Did you stay home? What did you do to celebrate and bring in the new year? I'm going to tell you guys, I will be in bed by 10 p.m. this evening with Netflix. Okay. And I'm going to bring in the new year in bed, and I'll probably be asleep long before midnight. That's how I'm going to do it. Now, y'all, I finished my 42 days of no coffee. So I had closed out 2023 with 42 days without coffee, right? After consuming coffee for well over I want to say probably 30 years. I'm not going back to coffee. I am coffee free. I'm not going to dibble and dabble in decaf, none of that, okay? Because all it takes is one sip to go backwards. So I'm not even going to do that. So that was my. So I want to ask you, are you guys listening to any books or are you reading any books currently? If so, what are you listening to? What are you reading? I tend to read a lot more during the summer when I have time off, physical books, and then I listen to Audible year round. And so right now, for probably the third time this year, well, third, fourth time, I am listening to Never Finished by David Goggins. He is like the ultimate no limit soldier, right? One thing that I want to ask you is what do you want more of in your life in 2024, guys? What do you want more of in your life in 2024? Sometimes we, set goals for ourselves or we set New Year's resolutions only to fall off of them by February, just a few short weeks later. So I'm not the type of person who makes New Year's resolutions at all. I'm always goal oriented, right? So whatever the goal is that I'm currently working on, it could be January 1st forward or what have you. But what I want more of in my life in January 2024 forward is I want to focus more on travel. So my plans is to take a trip out of town, one trip per month in 2024. So I had this going on a streak in 2019. And then, things happened in 2020 and 2021. So I want to pick up my travel again and do that. So in January, I'm going to take a day trip down to LA and spend the day down there. And then in February, my plans are for Atlanta, Georgia for a couple of days. And then in March, I'm going to catch the Clipper to go across to Victoria Clipper, so Vancouver, BC. And then in April, I plan to take a train ride down to Portland. And then in May, I plan on going to California with a girlfriend. And then June, I don't know beyond that. And then in August, me and my daughter and my granddaughters were going to go to Hawaii. So every month, I plan on doing something different, even if it's just a cheap escape to the state next door. I just plan on getting out of town. So I want more travel in my life in January of 2024. Be onward, onward, onward. Okay. And then also, what I want more of is more lean muscle mass, right? So I'm going to be working extremely hard on building more muscle mass. And it doesn't mean that I want to gain weight in order to bulk up. I just want to lean out a little bit more and build more muscle mass. So that has been an ongoing goal. But for 2024, I'm going to go a little more hardcore with that. And then I shared with you guys my test results from December 20th, the cholesterol, the LDL, the trigs. The trigs were really good. But, I was sharing with you guys that my doctor wanted to put me on cholesterol lowering medication. And I was like, you don't know me like that. That's not going to happen. So I'm currently enrolled in a course in your cholesterol confusion through Dr. Eric Westman's Academy. But my goal is to push through and finish it before my appointment on January the 15th. So fingers crossed, applesauce. I'm learning a lot, right? And what else is it? So, oh, and there's been some things that I've been trying to swap out. So normally I am like for like total beef, like steaks, depending on if they're on sale, the ribeyes, but steaks. I do a lot of ground beef patties, lots of eggs, and all that good stuff. So what I'm trying to work in is some leaner cuts of meat. And when I say leaner cuts of meat, it's going to be seafood that I've already started incorporating, which is shrimp and salmon. And I've been testing out the ground turkey, which I'm really not that fond of, but I'm fond of depending on how well seasoned it is, if you know what I'm saying. And turkey burgers, I'm really finicky about the turkey burgers because if they're dry, I'm not eating it. Okay. So those are some things that I'm going to try to work in, some more leaner cuts of meat. And I've been trying some pork. Pork chops have not been my jam, but I'm trying to work with them and like grilled chicken and stuff like that. Lord, okay, I'm really trying. So I'm going to swap out some of my meats for leaner cuts to see how that works with me. And also, like I said, during the process of trying to build more muscle mass, but not necessarily gain weight and bulk up. So that's what I want more of in 2024. And I will be checking my labs, like my cholesterol and all those numbers, like my HbA1c, my fasting glucose, my insulin. My fasting insulin has always been good, but I'll be checking those numbers more like every 2 to 3 months as opposed to yearly, just to see where they're at. And I'll be sharing them with you guys. My first DEXA scan of 2024 will be on January the 13th. And I am hoping that my body fat percentage is at a good level that I expect it to be at. So it won't be that hard to continue to build lean muscle mass. And so that's what I want more of in 2024. And then, folks, I want to ask you, what do you want less of in your life in 2024? Is there something that you've been struggling with or something that you have been that's just been a demon, that's been a monkey on your back for years on end. And you're saying that this is the year that I want less of that. And I'm going to work very hard to rid myself of that. Or maybe it's, you're reactive, reactive to certain situations that you want to calm yourself down in before you start responding to them. For me, what I want less of is, actually I have to say what I actually want less of is less to do. I have a long to-do list pretty much every day, which is self-imposed. So my goal is to just narrow that to-do list down every day and become more of a minimalist, right? A minimalist. Being said, World Carnivore Month, January 2024 is here. So what I can offer to you guys is that I started my journey on December 2nd, 2018 as an intermittent faster and as a on a ketogenic diet. I did that from December 2018 all the way through December 2019. And then the reason that I switched and went to carnivore in January of 2020 is because I kept being triggered on the ketogenic diet. I kept having, I kept, I kept binging, just going off the rails, being triggered by certain foods that were supposedly good for me. And I had to do the hard work of identifying what those foods were and abstaining from them. And then I decided to commit to carnivore in January 2020. And that was a success until I decided to have my off day, which was close to Easter, like April of 2020. So I decided to go off of carnivore for a couple of days and to kind of eat in a celebratory mode, eat things that were supposedly ketogenic, but I spiraled and then I reeled it back in. And then it was just a couple of short months later that I did the same thing. And then I would go back to carnivore and everything would stabilize. And then I went off of it again. And my last organized binge was on August 20th, 2020, right? And then I continued to be hardcore carnivore for the rest of 2020. And then in January 2021, I tried to reintroduce foods back into my palate or my diet that I thought would be awesome. But they were foods, like the salads, the salad dressings, like almonds, cashews, and those like tomatoes, bell peppers. There were certain things that triggered me that we would probably think would be great. Blueberries, things that were healthy, but I would just go head first, right? And then like cheese is kind of like an okay food for me. But when I ate it coupled with those other things, it was maddening because I was like, I'm losing control here, right? So by June of 2021, I threw my hands up and said, nope, I'm declaring meat-based is the way I will go from now on. So whether you are experimenting with carnivore for the first time or you're trying it again for the 10th time, keep trying until you find a level that works for you, until you find out what your trigger foods are, or until you find out that you like feeling a certain way and use that as your motivation to keep going. Okay. So, wherever you're at in your journey, whoever you are, just know that we're all interdependent. You're never in this life alone, and that you too can have whatever it is that you want in life. But ask yourself, what do you want more of in 2024? And ask yourself, what do you want less of in 2024? This is Coach Rose AJ signing out. Stay blessed, folks, and be safe. And I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Bye bye.